Today we are catching Norway's striking new airport express train, connecting Oslo's main airport with the city centre and suburbs at record speed. But these trains are not as good as they may seem. Plagued with technical faults and huge delays from the beginning, they have now finally entered service but still have some major design flaws. Join me today as I show you why you should never take Norway's failed airport high-speed train. We begin our journey at Oslo's Gardermoen Airport, located about 40 kilometers as the crow flies from actual Oslo. The railway station here is fully integrated with the rest of the airport, opening alongside the whole airport in 1998. Heading inside the station building, we arrive at the arrivals hall, where the train station area is pretty much directly across from the baggage carousels. As you'd expect, there's no catering on board Flytoget, but there's plenty of shops and even a Burger King right next to the station. The station area itself is also well equipped, with good wayfinding and clear departure information. Lots of ticket machines are provided, alongside a help desk. You can also easily pay for your ticket directly at the ticket barrier using a contactless bank card. Oslo Airport consists of 4 platforms, with the 2 inner ones being dedicated for Flytoget services and must be accessed through one of their ticket barriers, while just around the corner you will find non-barrier protected outer platforms served by regional trains and long-distance trains. As we still got some time before the train I'm looking to catch today is scheduled to arrive, let's have a look at the outer platforms. The outer platforms are mostly served by V's regular regional trains between Oslo and a few cities to the north. Their trains also head straight for the Oslo city centre and use modern Stadler flirt units like these. And you do want to make a little mental note about these trains and their grade level boarding, because that will become relevant a little later in this video. In addition to the V regional trains, the outer platforms also get service by SJ Nord and their long-distance trains up to Trondheim. From the inner platforms, Flytoget generally operate a service to Oslo every 10 minutes. In their fleet, they have 16 of these Class 71 trains built by Adtranz that have served the line since its opening in 1998. But we are not interested in those trains today. We are looking for one of the 8 new Type 78 trains, and luckily they are not hard to find, as the website Balise can show you pretty much where every Norwegian train is in real time. And here one of them comes, working an inbound service from the city. And after quickly unloading the passengers from Oslo, the train will now depart for the sidings just behind the station in preparation for its return journey. So it's time for us to head through to the platform. I've booked a ticket online in the app today, which can simply be scanned at the gates. Normally Flytoget runs up to 6 trains an hour towards Oslo across these 3 different service patterns. However, I was travelling on a day with trackworks where only 3 trains per hour were running to Drammen. Our train today will be the 13:30 service bound for Drammen. Around 15 minutes before departure, our train starts moving from the sidings and makes its entry onto the platform. The Type 78 consists of 4 carriages, of which only one is low floor and fully accessible. I do have to wonder how many people are actually bringing a full-sized bike to the airport without having it packed down or anything, but the number probably isn't 0. The Type 78 trains are built by Spanish CAF, and they are part of their not-so-successful Oaris high-speed train family, The trains were designed for a top speed of 245 km per hour, but in service on the airport line they only reached 210. We'll talk more about the train's troubled history later, but now it's time to board. The first thing I immediately noticed upon boarding is the huge column in the middle of the door area. So after dragging your luggage up the steps, you'll also have to mingle it through the narrow space between the column, but who would be so silly to bring luggage on a train dedicated to going to the airport? Oh, and by the way, the column, instead of showing any useful information about your journey, most of the time it just shoves an advertisement straight to your face. As if paying Flytoget's extortionate fare wasn't enough already. But don't worry, for passenger information, Flytoget has made the investment to fit a 90s dot matrix display. Okay, despite my first impressions being less than great, I promise there are some good and cool things about these trains also, which I'll get back to in a moment, but for now we depart Oslo Airport on time at 13:30. Almost immediately after leaving the station, we begin to accelerate towards the train's maximum speed of 210 km per hour, which we'll soon reach. So let's take a closer look at the route map for today's trip. We are on board Flytoget Line 1. Leaving the airport, we'll head toward Oslo on this 71 km long journey that's scheduled to take 46 minutes to reach Akser, where the train was replaced by a bus the last stop to Drammen. This gives the train an average speed of 92 km per hour. As our train speeds south, let's have a look at the seats. They are in a very Nordic design, and to me they look quite good. The seat itself is a little low for my liking, but they are adequately padded for the about 1 hour long trips they do. And I do appreciate the detail that even the armrest is padded. Every pair of seats gets 2 USB outlets as well as 1 regular power outlet. In the central console, you'll find the recline levers as well as some cup holders, with the seat offering a few degrees of recline. Unfortunately, this train does not provide tray tables or a good amount of legroom. The seats feels adequate for a quick hop into Oslo, but not much more than that. And hopefully we will make it to Oslo, because these trains have been plagued quite a bit by reliability issues, so let's talk about their troubled history. The CAF Oaris was initially an experimental high-speed train platform developed to serve the fastest high-speed train lines in Spain, but it ultimately failed to win an order from the Spanish operator Renfe. In 2015, however, Flytoget ordered 8 of these units to complement its existing fleet, with delivery planned for around late 2016. In the end, the trains didn't even make it to Norway for testing until early 2019, a good 2 years later. From there on, it took another 2 years to complete all the tests needed, and they finally entered service on the Airport Express in June 2021, where they managed to last a whopping 19 days in service before their authorization was suspended due to major cracks discovered in the body shell. It then took another 2 years before the trains could finally re-enter proper revenue service in January 2023, a solid 8 years after they were originally ordered. Since then, the remaining units have been delivered, and all 8 of them now see at least occasional use on the airport line. I also find it quite funny how Renfe ordered the Talgo Avril instead of these trains, which also recently had a major issue with parts cracking.
Vi ankommer nå Lillestrøm stasjon. Avstigning på høyre side. We are now arriving at Lillestrøm station, platform to the right.
Our train makes its first station stop at Lillestrøm, a busy commuter town home to about 16,000 inhabitants. From here on, we are non-stop to Oslo Central Station, using the 14.5 km long Romerike tunnel that will take us almost the entire way there. With nothing to see in the tunnel, let's instead take a look at the train's interior. By the entrance doors, you will find some large luggage racks perfect for storing your luggage. The train is in a 2+2 seating layout throughout, and by some of the luggage racks you will find this cool device. If you have checked in online, simply scan your boarding pass and the tag will be printed. Put it on the back and it's ready to be swiftly dropped off at the counter in the airport. What a cool feature! Further down the train we find the one accessible carriage, and this one is quite funky. First of all, you will of course find the accessible seating, and when this area is not in use there's a few flip out seats that can be used by regular passengers. The only table you'll find on this train is this standing desk, which I guess would be handy for using your laptop on. It's located next to this bay of flip out seats that I have no idea what purpose serve. It's also where you'll find the train's large accessible toilet, so let's go and do a little toilet review. The toilet was nice and spacious, as you'd expect for an accessible one. Everything was pretty clean and functional. So with that, the Flytoget toilets gets a thumbs up. There's also a few regular toilets in the high floor section of the train. They are largely identical, just a bit smaller. Back at my seat, we are now coming out of the tunnel and beginning the approach into Oslo's main station. Our train is scheduled to sit here for a couple of minutes before continuing its journey through the city. And as we depart for the Oslo tunnel, taking us under the heart of the city, it's time for me to talk about the extortionate fares Flytoget charges and why I think you should never take this train. The first reason is price. Every single station Flytoget serves, with the exception of Stabekk, is also served by a direct regional train from Oslo Airport. And yes, the regional train does take between 1 and 4 minutes longer to reach Oslo Central Station, but it's also basically half price, costing 129 Norwegian kroner instead of the extortionate 252 kroner Flytoget charges. The second reason is that the trains we use on their regional services to the airport I actually think are better airport trains than the ones Flytoget have. These flirt trains are almost fully low floor, with every single door matching the height of the platform, making them a breeze to board with luggage. The only thing they are perhaps missing is a few more luggage racks, as even the one with the commuter interior is still comfortable enough for an hour or so down to Drammen. And honestly, in many ways, I think Flytoget as a service is completely pointless. Their trains aren't any better than the existing regional trains, and because of the policy that you are only allowed to take trips to and from the airport with them, they take up 4 paths every hour through the already busy Oslo tunnel, basically reserving them exclusively for spoiled business travelers and dumb tourists, instead of just letting them be regular commuter trains that would be great for literally everyone. Luckily, the Norwegian government has realized this, and Flytoget is to be fully part of the regular Oslo train network in 2028. This is Sandvika station, our penultimate stop. And as we now head for the tunnel to Akser, let me just finish by saying that the Type 78 trains would probably be a fine high-speed or long-distance train, at least if most of the build quality issues have been ironed out by now. But they make zero sense as the Airport Express fake regional train hybrid service they are here in Oslo. We arrive in Akser just a minute behind schedule at 14:17 after what's been a comfortable but expensive journey with Flytoget. Thank you so much for joining me on this trip. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, as I try to post a new video like this every Sunday. You can also follow me over on Blue Sky at intercitysimon.com. I usually post live from my travels over there, so it's a great place to get a sneak peek at what videos might be coming to the channel in the future. Thanks for watching.